Hello everyone and welcome back to another Nowhere Man-Child review. This review is going to be for Wave 2 of Operation Recall. Legendary creators back on active duty. These are fully posable O-ring action figures made in the style of G.I. Joe, predominantly as far as 1/18 scale action figures are concerned. They are brand new as of here in 2026. And this is Wave 2. I went all in on the line in Kickstarter a few years ago. Wave 1 arrived in December of 2025, and I actually have a video reviewing that entire wave and breakdowns of each of the 4 figures individually as well. Here we're going to actually review 5 figures because there are 4 figures in this wave, plus there was a mystery figure that was supplied as well, and that's in that white box with the red lettering on the right side there. So let's get started and take a look here. First, we're going to start with Rattello and Homer. So each of the action figures I have taken off. I use a knife to be able to remove the card, and I do it as close to the card as I can to be able to keep all the dignity and the lines and everything that you can be able to read and appreciate on the card here. So Rattello and Homer are the communication specialist and carrier pigeon. So yes, he comes with a carrier pigeon, and there's also a drone there. Each of these figures are going to have swivel wrist battle grip. So differently than original figures in the 1980s and 90s, the wrists will swivel, they will turn. Also on these figures, once you open up the package and take the figure off, you will see that there is a QR code here. You can scan and learn more, and also go to operationrecall.com. Weapons do not shoot, noted at the bottom there. And on the side, you can read there and actually see what the figure comes with. So all the accessories and things that are listed there along the side. And on the back, we have a full file card. They're designating the file name, the primary military specialty, secondary, and the birthplace, the grade, and all the information therein. Also on the back, you will see all of the figures that are yet to come in future waves, and figures that exist and are currently in the line as well. There is some art that you will see there, the unadorned package art from Doug Hart. Doug Hart was someone who had made package art for G.I. Joe back in the original line, predominantly in the 90s. And so he's done all the package art on all of these. Great guy, met him at DFW Joe Show this last year, and he is often there and at Joe Fest in Augusta, Georgia. Here along the side, you can actually see the different creators of who created the figures. So each one lists them there. Concept, in this case, is by R. Carson Metaxas, designed by Ron Rudat, direction by Kirk Bazigian, package design by Sean Morrill, package art by Doug Hart, package direction Ed Morrill, writing of the file card by Larry Hama, sculpt of the figure by Bill Markline, the 3D figure by Carter, accessories by Adam Freeman and Mark Gerwig, casting by Lightbeam 3D, paint by Matt LaCroix, manufacturing by Big Joe, and Operation Recall CO is R. Carson Metaxas. So this figure is actually one that Carson had submitted as an idea to Hasbro when he was a kid. And so this is a figure that was never made back then, but was an idea for when he did the omnibus for the Art of G.I. Joe and wanted to do, let's try one more figure and get the original creators to create a figure for the line. And this was the idea, and it started from the ground up, getting everyone together to be able to do this. This figure and this idea took shape to be able to then do the entire Operation Recall line. And so the fact that we have all of these figures is because this figure's gestation and the origination of wanting it to live and to be created means that all these other figures have since been created through ideas of fellow fans like you and I. And so let's go ahead and take a look here at the figure. Each figure comes with a stand, and each figure also comes with a card that we can open up. The card will fit on the back of the stand, as can the file card. And this is actually a booklet. So the booklet we will take a look at, and it shows it's by Retelo and Homer, design process by Ron Rudat. And when you open up these booklets for each figure, you'll be able to see the imagery here. So ideation by Ron Rudat. All the original design work that was done to be able to create Rattello and Homer is in here. and it's all the way through. And then on the back side here, you've got the different color studies that were done and that what was officially chosen to be his look for the main figure here. So there's the sculpture sheets, which you see from the side, front, and the rear, and the same with his backpack. And then you get the presentation art there for Rattello. And then when you open this up, you will actually get a poster of the unadorned artwork. And this is the case for each of the action figures, all done by Doug Hart. And so that's what you get in each of these for when you open up your figure. One thing I will show here as well is if you go and you get to meet Ron Rudat, you can actually get a piece of his art. This is an art piece that shows his design work. And so actually it includes things that you can see from inside the booklet that we just took a look at. And this one is from the design by Ron Rudat, and it was signed by Ron Rudat when I met him. Also get one of his cards from The Finest, which he has signed. He's one of the great Joe creators, and you should try to meet Ron Rudat if you get the opportunity. Okay, so here we have Retelo and Homer. And I've got the light on up above me, but also I got some natural sunlight coming through from the right side there. So this is how you are seeing this figure here. Homer the pigeon actually has a little stand there on the backpack. You can see that he stands up on there. And there's an antenna. And the backpack as well is able to hold the drone. So the drone can be attached to the backpack as well. And I have him posed as close as can be to the card art. So he has his helmet on and his weapon there. And you can take a look and you can see all the different adornments. So he has straps on the backpack that can be removed and come off. He has the sash. He has a bandana there around his neck. He has a few grenades and packs. He has a very nice belt. He has a sidearm there. Does not come out, but it's very nicely done, very nicely sculpted. Very good paint design there. Got a little too close. There we go. Widen out. Very good paint coloration here. My camera may not pick it up as clearly. And here you can see the drone. It's actually made to look like a bird. So it has an eagle's talon, like a face of an eagle, of a hawk, of a falcon. It's a bird of some sort. Quick, we'll take a look at Homer up close. Homer the carrying pigeon. Very nice. Very nicely designed. You can see that silver there. That is actually a little canister that he would be able to carry message and information in. So if he has something to carry, it is strapped there to him. He has also, if you can see, a little bitty bird helmet. It's really nicely done. He's got a little backpack there and really nice wings. And he goes right back on when he wants to land. He goes right back onto Rattello. And each of these has a stand. They go in the stand. Great. And it looks terrific. So there we have Rattello and Homer. Let's put the drone back in. There we go. And we'll see how he compares to a G.I. Joe. Well, since he's a communications guy, let's put him next to another communications guy. How about dial tone? There's a Tiger Force dial tone right there. And he can stand there and talk to dial tone about communications. Next up, let's take a look at Bengal. Bengal is the sniper and counterintelligence. You can see her card art. Very nicely designed as far as with the card art. So the weapon that she has goes right between the packaging there. So in the plastic packaging, if you are not an opener, you keep it in there, you can still see great card art design there. And then comes out of that case there, which she has that case. And on the side, You can see everything that she comes with there. You can pause this and get a good look as needed. On the back, there's Bengal's file card. And again, as with the others, you can see the unadorned card art and the cross cell. And as far as creators, they are all listed along the sides as well. Concept by Terrence Mullendore, designed by Ron Rudat, direction by Kirk Bazigian, package design by Sean Morrill, package art by Doug Hart, package direction by Ed Morrill, writing by Larry Hama, sculpt of the figure by Bill Merkline, head by Mike Good, 3D figure by Carter, accessories by Mark Gerwig, casting by Lightbeam 3D, paint by Matt LaCroix, manufacturing by Big Joe, and Operation Recall CO are Carson Metaxas. So here we have Bengal, and she is ready to go. I have her looking as close as I can to the card art there. She actually comes with the weapon, and you can also see she has a sari and a mask. And the mask is clippable, so you can see it doesn't go around the back of her neck there. So it's clipped on from the face, from the front. Her hair, differently from the card art, in this case, is done in a bun. So it is put up and pulled up there. But she looks really nice, really well done. She has very great paint applications. You can see a red dot on her face there, in her forehead. And then she also has some bullets there over on her breast pocket, and then some around her wrist that you can see there. And also on this side of the wrist, she has what basically is what I believe is a trajectory calculator of sorts. So being able to get the right trajectory on targets. And then you can see on her leg, she has a knife, some good pockets there. And very nice paint application, I think, on the tiger stripes that she has there. And again, she is on the stand, which holds the figures very, very well. Here, let's take a look at her booklet. Bengal, design process by Ron Rudat. Here you can see the characters, the ideation. So you can see all the different images and considerations that were done for her. They're actually numbered in this case. And there you get the color studies of what was considered and then what was chosen. Here you've got the sculpture sheet from the side, from the front, from the rear. And then the presentation art that was done there. And then inside by Doug Hart, you get a poster. She also has this case. So this case is really nice. It's very long. It's very much fitting of her to be able to have her weapon without having to be pieced apart. So when you open the case up, it actually has what is this padding on the top side, and on the bottom side, you can see where the case fits perfectly for the weapon to go inside with extra ammunition pieces there. These are not removable. I initially tried to remove them with my fingers, and when I had no success, I realized that they are molded inside. And this hinges up and just snaps closed very easily, just as such. Now, she doesn't have a way to carry this except for by the handle, so there is no backpack peg or backpack strap. But it can sit with her there, however you want to have her posed on your shelf and with other figures. And so with other figures, because she looks like Tiger Force, let's go put her over next to our Tiger Force guy, Dial Tone. There we go. That looks like a nice match. Actually is a good color study match up there. Not necessarily intentional, but there it is. And because she is a sniper with a case, there's a sniper with a case right there. That would be low light from the last 20 years. That is a low light action figure that is included a whole bunch of accessories, so he is not a 1980s vintage low light, but he's a good one to have here with Bengal. He's got a lot of accessories. You know who else has a lot of accessories? That would be our next figure, and that's going to be Saul Eagle. Saul Eagle is the heavy weapons expert. So here you can see his card art there. Very dynamic look, very great looking imagery here. He's got a championship belt. He's got eagles on his knee pads, and of course the luchador mask, and like the Gatling weapon of sorts there. Here as the others, you can see what he comes with, as it's listed there on the side. And you can see it much clearer in person compared to this video. So if it's difficult for you to see, you just need to pick up the figure on your own and read and see what it has. Here you can see the file card. So you can pause this and get a good read if you want to read about Saul Eagle. And then you can see the package art by Doug Hart there. Creators are listed on the side. Concept is by David Emanuele Martinez, designed by Ron Rudat, direction by Kirk Bazigian, package design by Sean Morrill, package art by Doug Hart, package direction by Ed Morrill, writing by Larry Hama, sculpt of the figure by Bill Merkline, head by Mike Good, 3D figure by Carter, accessories by Mark Gerwig, casting by Lightbeam 3D, paint by Matt LaCroix, manufacturing by Big Joe, and Operation Recall CO is R. Carson Metaxas. Here's the booklet for Saul Eagle. Design process by Ron Rudat. Open it up and you can see the ideation drawings here. All sorts of different ideas for the luchador mask and for the Gatling design of the weapon. Very fun, very detailed. And on the back, you can see the color studies, different options within what was chosen for Saul Eagle, showing the sculpture sheets. And from the side, from the front, from the rear, and then also of his accessories, his belt, and then the presentation art. And when you open this up, you can see the unadorned art done by Mr. Doug Hart. Let's take a look at Saul Eagle. Here, Saul Eagle is really fun. He has a really fun look. If you're looking for direct realism of what you expect to be in a military brand, this may not be the figure for you. This figure is based in a very creative manner, very fun. I mean, he's got the eagle knee pads you can see there. He does have a sidearm there molded to his leg, which is great. He's got a very nice sun tattoo there, which the light may or may not pick up here in the focus. You can see that there. The word Saul, S-O-L, meaning sun. And there you can see his weapon. He's got a little wrist, fuzzy bracelet of sorts there. Of course, he's got this championship belt. It's able to be undone in the back there, and it's very nice. It's very nicely detailed. It's got the wings. So if you remember the 80s, the WWF championship belt with the eagle on the front, this is definitely an eagle for Saul Eagle. And there in his luchador mask, which is very traditionally respected, he's got an eagle with a sun in the background, which is perfect. And you can see he has a comm and he has grenade. He's got some bullets there on his chest piece and his vest. There he also has a knife on the side there. And here he's holding this weapon here. This weapon actually has an ammo pouch attached to it. And in the back, the backpack, you have these extra ammo pouches. So you're able to take these the same way that you might with the canisters in the back of the Vamp. So if you think about the G.I. Joe Vamp, it's very similar in that regard. Very cool and very simply done. But that's Saul Eagle there. I think he's a lot of fun and he's great. And Considering he's got all these accessories, I think that he needs to go over with the guy that we just mentioned about having a lot of accessories. That would be Lowlight. So we'll put Saul Eagle over here next to Lowlight. So Saul Eagle has a lot of accessories, but more than that, he's also a wrestler. So he would actually probably want to talk to or compete with Sergeant Slaughter, who is not here. There's an image of Sergeant Slaughter with a triple T from the original box there. In front of there, we got the Renegades. So there's Mercer, Red Dog, and Taurus. And Taurus with that heck of a beard. You know who else has a heck of a beard? This is Bearclaw. He's a survivalist. And also, Wilson, the raccoon. Yeah, not Wilson from Home Improvement, his next door neighbor, but Wilson, his raccoon buddy. It's cute and it's fun. Bearclaw is a really dynamic looking figure as far as with the bear pelt that he wears there. That no animals were killed in the making of these Operation Recall figures, I assume. And here we have all the card art that you can see from there. And then on the side, you can see the different accessories that he comes with, as they're all listed there, including the bear cowl, a tomahawk. And then on the back, there's Bearclaw and Wilson listed on the file card. Josiah S. Olson is his file name. You can pause this and read that there. And then also the card art there, unadorned by Doug Hart, along with the cross-sell. And then we get all the creators listed on the back. So they're along the sides, as usual. Concept by Gabriel and Joel Wilkinson. Designed by Ron Rudat. Direction by Kirk Bazigian. Package design Sean Morrill. Package art by Doug Hart. Package design by Ed Morrill. Writing by Larry Hama. Sculpt of the figure by Mike Good. 3D figure by Carter. Accessories Accessories by Mark Gerwig. Casting by Lightbeam 3D. Paint by Matt LaCroix. Manufacturing Big Joe. And Operation Recall CO R. Carson Metaxas. And again, you can go to operationrecall.com for more information. Here is Bearclaw and Wilson. There you can see Wilson will just stand on the stand there. He doesn't have a peg. He doesn't need one. At Bearclaw and Wilson, design process by Ron Rudat. Open up here and we get the ideation by Ron Rudat. We can see that Bearclaw has a very full beard in all of these. He's definitely a mountain man from Go, a survivalist. We get the concept art at the end. And we have all the color studies. And then the character sculpture sheet there from the side, left, right, front, and center. Also the accessories. And then the presentation art is colored there. And when you open this up, you get a poster of Bearclaw and Wilson. Okay, let's take a look at Bearclaw. Really interestingly designed figure. Really complex. There you can see he's got the sidearm. I've got him posed as close as I can to the design from the card art. He's holding a tomahawk in his hand, and it has a little peg there. And it actually will go right inside the bandolier on his chest there. So you can hold it there. And he's got different designs. There's bones and teeth of some sort around his neck there. And he's got bullets. He's got a very nicely done belt. Very nice pants. He's got a sidearm molded to the side there. Really like the way these boots are done. You can feel the fringe. And you got a knife there on the side. And with you see the backpack, he's got the rifle. He's got some molded on climbing gear there. And the knapsack. And some rope. And on his wrist there, you can actually see a little calculator of some sort from trajectory and reading different things. One thing about this is you can actually unpeg very easily. It's got a backpack peg, and it goes directly into his back because it doesn't have to go through the bear hood here, the pelt. This comes off straight away. You can see there he is. And here's the bear. If you have a Dr. Mindbender waiting to check out this bear, I'd put it on old Baldy Mindbender and see how he likes it and check it all out. But it's very interesting, very nicely done. And there you can see the back. And it goes on and off just like that. It's made of rubber, so it's flexible and not some piece of plastic that's going to snap. Here is Wilson. Very small little critter, very nice. You see his raccoon eyes there, little nose. He's got little dark feet, and he's just one little piece. No articulation, none needed. Striped tail. Little animal companion who can go around with Bearclaw. All right, so let's take Bearclaw over and he can have a beard comparison with Taurus. How's that sound? That sounds like a good thing to do. What else do guys with beards do? They just talk about them, right? You know, he's looking a little imposing standing there, but you know what? He's a new guy. He's a survivalist. He's been in the mountains for a while. Maybe he hadn't talked to a person in a few days, a few months. So, there we go. You got Bearclaw. We got Saul Eagle. We've got Bengal. And we've got Retelo and Homer. Now we also have the bonus figure. And the bonus figure arrived in this white box. It's got this image on it here. And it says Operation Recall Headquarters along the top with a serial number at the bottom there. Nothing on the back. It's blank inside, all around otherwise. And it came in some very simple packaging here. Bump, 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 bump. Here's the reveal, if you haven't seen it yet. General Mortifero, the Orthrus commander, unmasked. So this is his file card. You can read the file card there if you'd like to pause it and take a look at it. It is done similar to G.I. Joe mail order cards, where it is done in this rectangular shape, where you would clip it if you wanted to. And some people did with their old file cards. This is also a red back file card. So if you know your G.I. Joe mail-ins, red backs were a little more exclusive and they're harder to find and to collect. And here we have the credits. If you'd like to pause this and read the credits, they're nice and clear here. Concept is by David Emanuele Martinez. And let's take a look at the unmasked General Mortifero. Unmasked in all his evil glory. A similar design in all other respects. Identical design in all other respects to his original figure that came out in Wave 1. If it's different any the other way, I'm unfamiliar, couldn't tell. But it has the same weaponry as far as a pistol, a dagger, and then also a mace. The difference on the mace is it's got some blood on it. So it's shown that he has been viciously violent with it because he actually has blood spatter on his unmasked face here as well. Mortifero is not someone to mess with. He is evil, evil dude. Very dangerous. And he has got an Orthrus logo on the bottom of his stand. He has a booklet as well. General Mortifero, Unmasked. Design process by Mark Pennington. Open it up and you can see here the ideation designs. all the different concepts here that went into General Mortifero with his mask on, as well as unmasked. And there you get the paint color studies there for then the figure and accessory deco sheet. It says there, different than the sculpture sheet. The sculpture was already done. This is the decoration, or the deco, I should say, for what was the second iteration of this figure. And there you can get the presentation art, which is by David Emanuele Martinez. Very well done. Very scary because it's in first-person perspective there. It's actually of a person who's cowering and his hands up. He's getting attacked. And when you open this up, you get the poster of the unmasked General Mortifero by Doug Hart. So there we have it. In Wave 2 of Operation Recall, Saul Eagle, Retelo and Homer, Bengal, Bearclaw and Wilson, and General Mortifero unmasked. I hope you enjoyed a look at these action figures. If you're going to pick them up yourself, I hope you'll open them up and enjoy them, or keep them in the package, put them on the wall, put them somewhere you can enjoy them and appreciate them. It's definitely great that you're giving your support to this line, to the creators who did so much great work for G.I. Joe once upon a time in the 80s and 90s, and are now doing great work with Operation Recall. This has been another Nowhere Man-Child review. Like, share, and subscribe. Take care of yourself and each other. We'll see you again soon.